This was some sampling that we did on someone's remote control with their television, and you know we can see on this plate there are hundreds of bacterial colonies. Generally, we like to think that a colony comes from a single cell, and the resulting growth that you see was originally a single cell. Now, sometimes we have colonies that grow together, and it's not an absolute way to count these microorganisms, but you can see that there are quite a bit of bacteria here on this surface. And even the sampling that has been done does not remove them from this surface. Those microbes are still going to be present and probably equal these counts even after that sampling has taken place.
Beauty.
So this one from the local deli is especially interesting. After talking with some of the employees there, turns out they use the phone to pick up orders, and while they're working on their business, they'll actually cradle that phone with the mouthpiece against their chest with their apron where they've been working. And you can see from looking at the mouthpiece that there's quite a lot of bacteria that are living there, and really kind of emphasizes the importance of good hygiene, both personal hygiene and also keeping our devices clean as well.
Beauty.
How did you go about acquiring these sculptures? Did you just use a swab of some kind?
Yeah, so these samples were obtained in a very straightforward manner. Basically, the environment was, we used a sterile swab that had been wetted in a sterile solution to help grab the microbes, and then we just basically swabbed the surfaces. Now, there definitely are more elaborate and exact methods for sampling microbial populations. There is a method or a discipline, an entire discipline that we call metagenomics, that involves actually just sampling DNA from a particular environment, isolating that DNA, punching it into a computer, and then seeing what's there. And that's generally considered the industry standard for really identifying where you might have an environment where you could have thousands or even millions of microbes in there, and actually you could identify them by a metagenomic approach. So this method gives us a sense of what's there, although it certainly doesn't indicate the totality of microorganisms. All we see is what has come up on this plate, as opposed to what might actually be in that total environment.
Give us one more of the TV tuner in relation to the...
So we can pull up a good TV on here. So yeah, we look at these remotes, and you can see they can contain many different types of bacteria, fungi, molds, things like that as well. And they're going to stay viable on a surface like this for quite some time. If this surface is being used by people, they're sharing this device. Maybe they're eating food, maybe they're eating pizza and watching the football game. You're going to get a lot of contact not only with microorganisms, but actually nutrients for those microorganisms. And that's going to create an environment that will actually help cultivate these organisms as well.
So again, that can be stopped by utilizing these protective devices.
These protective devices will help out a lot. My advice is, if you don't have a protective device on such a handset like this, have your buddy change the TV channels. Just let them know what you want to watch.